Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Kat. This is a story that I think will be helpful towards some people. It's kind of like I don't know. This is just what happened to me in my story, and I hope that it could help someone in the future. I work at a coffee shop, and it is a drive-through walk-up coffee shop. So there's no place to sit down inside. So I used to live in these apartments right next to the coffee shop, and in between my apartment complex and the coffee shop was a dirt field, like a dirt lot, where someone could buy the land and build something there. And it was right next to this main road that everyone drives, and it wasn't that far. It's not a big lot. It was just I could see the coffee shop. It only took me about 5 minutes to walk there, super close. One morning, it was Saturday at 7 a.m., I decided I was going to walk to work, because I walk to work almost every day. And I did the same route. I just walked through my complex and then went through the dirt field, and as I got about halfway through the field, I noticed I was hearing something behind me. So I went and I turned around, and there was this guy that was standing at the entrance of the field, right by the apartments. There's a gate that leads you to them. He was standing there calling out to me saying, hey, 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 do you have a phone charger? Do you have a phone charger? I need a phone charger. And I couldn't understand what he was saying at first, so I stopped and I listened, and like an idiot I was like, oh yeah, maybe, and I started looking through my purse. Don't do that, if someone, just keep walking. But I didn't feel threatened by him because he wasn't that much taller than me, and he was a really skinny guy. He catches up to me, and he's like, oh, I just really need a phone charger, my phone's dead and I need one, I need to call such, I don't know, I don't remember what he said. This was a while ago. So I said, oh, sorry, I don't have one. Why would I look for a phone charger to begin with? Was I just going to give him my phone charger? I don't know. But I said, oh, sorry, I don't have a phone charger. And I kept walking. And he's kept walking behind me. And he kept asking me questions. He's like, oh, do you live in those apartments over there? What apartment are you? What apartment number is you? Or are you? Where are you going right now? Are you going to work? Do you work over here? Where are you walking to? And all was these questions, and he goes, oh, I think I know where you live. You live in the apartment, or I live in the apartment right below you, we're neighbors. And I know my neighbors below me, and he was not them. I was just kind of freaked out, and I was like, oh, I don't know where I live. I just moved in. I live with my parents. That way he knows I don't live alone, and it started freaking me out too, because why would he care? And if he lived in those apartments, why was he asking me for a phone charger? Why wouldn't he have one just in his apartment? It was only 6:50 in the morning too, so kind of early. So I continue walking. I kind of speed up a little bit quicker to work, and he's like, oh, are you going to work? Are you going to work? And obviously I'm going to work. I'm wearing a work shirt, on my name tag on. I'm like, yes. And he's like, where do you work? Where I was walking to, there's only 3 stores. There's CVS, there's Wiener Schnitzel, which is a fast food place, and then there's my work. So and Wiener Schnitzel wasn't open, and I definitely wasn't walking to CVS. I was like, oh, I just work right there at that coffee shop. Oh, that's where I'm walking to. Don't tell someone where you work. Anyway, but he kept following me, and finally I get to the door to type in the code to go into the shop because, like I said, we're an outdoor shop. Only the employees can go inside. And he was right next to me. He was up on me. He was super close. And so I just kind of looked at him, took a couple steps back. I hid the keypad to type in the code because I'm I don't want this guy to know the code. Gonna come at me. So I was okay, I guess I can just look inside our coffee shop to see if I have a phone charger for you. And he's like, okay, it's an iPhone. I was like, all right. So I go in, and thank goodness I wasn't by myself. My coworker was there, and she was looking at me all weird because she just saw the whole thing go down from the window. And I was like, dude, this guy followed me to work. And she's like, that's not your boyfriend? No, that's not my boyfriend. That's some skinny Mexican kid. My boyfriend is 6'5", blonde hair. No. So she was like, oh my, are you okay? What does he want? I was like, he wants a phone charger. We have tons of iPhone chargers in the store because all of our systems are iPads, all of our registers. So I was like, I don't want him to wait here while his phone charges. I don't want, and it was weird. And as I saw that, he was sitting at the picnic table waiting for me to tell him he could use their phone chargers. And I saw him looking down at something that kind of looked like a phone because I was looking at the security feed. You don't need a phone charger if your phone's working. I said to him, I said, oh, sorry, we don't have a phone charger here for you. And he goes, oh, I'm so sorry, no worries. And he was like super polite, and he just walked away back to the apartment complex. So then I started thinking, was it just me thinking he was being creepy and weird? Like, what, did he seriously just want a phone charger? I don't know, maybe he got locked out or something. I wasn't really paying attention, so I told my boss when she got in, I told my parents, and all of them were like, you're stupid for even talking to him. I was like, I know, I realized that. He followed me to work at 6:50 in the morning, like, he was being very persistent. So whatever, that happened. I became a little bit more aware of my surroundings. And then I continued to walk to work every day, and some days I wouldn't go through the field, I would go the long way around, but I never had an issue until about maybe a month or so later. I was going to this like same shift Saturday morning, which I hadn't worked in a while. All my other shifts were later in the day. 7 a.m. on Saturday, I was walking, and I decided to walk through the field. And as I was walking past this one apartment, there was this guy sitting on his patio smoking. And I didn't really look at him. I just kind of saw him as I was passing, so I was like looking down my phone because I had like Snapchats and stuff. So I kept like glancing at it and putting it away. And I felt like as I was walking by, I had this feeling like someone was just watching me. Like, you know what I mean? And like kind of out of the corner of your eye, you just feel like they're just tracking you. That's what I felt like. Well, again, I just walked to the field, opened the gate, got halfway through the field again, and I started hearing something from behind me. And I turned around, and it was the guy that I just saw smoking, asking me if I had a cigarette. I literally just saw him smoking, and he's like, do you have a cigarette? Do you have a cigarette? Do you have a cigarette? And trying to flag me down. And I looked, and in my head, I'm like, that's the same guy from before, isn't it? It might have not been, but I'm pretty sure it was. So this time, I learned my lesson. I don't want him to follow me to work. I don't want this. I just keep walking, and I walk a little bit faster, and he keeps following me until I turn the corner to turn into my work. As soon as I turn the corner, I looked behind me really quick, and I saw him turn around. But he got he started picking up his pace and following me, asking me for a cigarette the whole entire time. And then again, I started doubting myself. I'm like, maybe it isn't the same guy before. Maybe this guy was asking for a light. Like, maybe he just thought I would have one and decided to. But then I'm rationalizing it. You'd rather be safe than sorry. You literally, obviously, if he had a cigarette, he definitely had a lighter. He was at his apartment, sitting on the patio. So I go through my shift, and I call my boyfriend to pick me up because there's no way I'm walking home. And as we're walking up the stairs to the apartment, I decide, oh, let me try to see what apartment that this guy came from, because I passed it earlier, so I knew which one it was. And I got up to the top of the stairs. So my apartment isn't there's no hallways, there's no building. They were all outside. All the buildings were just the apartments. So everyone's front door led to right outside, and we were on the top floor, so we had stairs all outside that led right up to the top of the door, and then we would go inside. So it's it's an open campus. So I got to the top of the stairs, and I turned in the direction of where the apartment was. And when I found where the apartment was, I lost my mind. This guy's apartment, his patio, had the direct line of sight to my front door and to the back balcony sliding glass door. And we always kept the sliding glass door balcony blinds open, all the time. And his patio had the direct view line to see both. And I started panicking. Is this the same guy before? Has he been watching me? Is that why he knows when to follow me? Has he been seeing me exit my house every day? I don't know, is he a creep, or is he just some guy that was a little bit too aggressive asking for things? I don't know, but it scared me. And let me tell you, every single day, every time I'd pass the door, I would look to see if he was out there. And it was always midday. I never woke up. I never had that Saturday morning shift again. And if I did, I didn't walk. I drove. And I never saw him ever again after that. The point being is, it doesn't matter if he was misinterpreted, or if he wasn't going to do anything, if he was just being nice, and if he just happened to see me and whatever. Don't let people follow you to work, and don't talk to people. If you feel uneasy, make it known that you know that they're following you, or if in that situation, you could turn around and ask them, like, why do you keep asking me? Like, leave me alone. Or, you know, if someone's following you, always, like, direct them, like, ask them a question because it throws them off and they're like, whatever. Or, like, take out your phone. Like, take a picture of them. Like, start recording them. Be like, are you following me? Because if you are, I'm going to go to the police with this. Like, do whatever you need to do to stay safe. And don't walk to work if you have to walk through a dirt field. Alright, so that is the end of this story. If you want to see more stories like this, or not maybe like this because I don't have a stalker, but if you want to see more story times or me just sitting down talking in front of the camera, let me know. Yeah. Alright, I'll see you later.